G'day legends, I hope you're all amazing. We have the Overtuber from Citadel Electronics on the bench today. This is a high voltage tube overdrive with a built-in boost. You have controls for level, tone, body, girth, and gain. The girth and the gain are an interactive drive pairing on there. I kind of think of them the way you might have a bright and a normal channel on a Plexi, or the way you might have two gain controls on a Boogie Mark Series amp. We're going to have a listen to what all of these controls do in just a second, but I want to have a little jam with this and just try to rip some licks over this Brett Garsed backing track. I'll put the backing track in the video description along with some free stuff and ways to support my channel, but I just want to start by saying a massive thank you to the team at Citadel Electronics for making this video happen. Let's go. So you can hear in the jam, you can get plenty of smooth, thick overdrive out of this. And at those lower settings, it's just a really nice tonal enhancer and embiggening device. Let's just go through what the controls do on here. I mean, the boost is fairly self-explanatory on there. We will get to that. But I'm going to start with the girth control all the way down. I love that this has a girth control. My Cherrytone Molecular also has a girth control on there. Girth into girth. I imagine that would be pretty girthy. Would it be double girth? Girth squared? I'm kind of getting a little bit distracted, aren't I? Anyway, we've got tone and body on there as well. So let's start with the body and the tone all the way down. This is just going to add a little bit of drive at the moment, but it's going to be kind of dull and not have a lot of presence going on. So I'm going to bring the tone and the body up to get that out of it, and then we'll have a listen to what the girth control does. It is very, very well named on there. Let's start out on the neck pickup of this Ultra 2 Strat. I'm going into the Overtuber and then into the Tone King Royalist preamp on the JTM 45 mode. I've got an Electro Voice IR loaded up and a little bit of the built-in reverb. So keeping the tone below noon and really pushing the girth and the body is going to give you that liquid lead tone on there. Backing off the girth control, cranking the tone and the level and keeping the gain down, and then maybe using the boost if you want, works great for rock rhythm tones on there. If I start with a dirtier tone on there and then use this like a boost, we get this. Thing I do need to say, this pedal is rated at 500 milliamps, 9 volt DC on here, so make sure you power it properly. It does ship with a power supply, but if you connect it to an outlet that can only give you 100 milliamps of power on there, the pedal's not going to work properly. It says right here in between the level and the tone control. You would think the two controls where you're like, it's an overdrive, I need level and I need tone on there, and I should be powering it properly on there. So it does need 500 milliamps on there. Most modern power supplies like a Chox will be able to do that. first getting into guitar in the early 2000s, there were a bunch of guitar products and pro audio products that were sticking tubes in things probably where they didn't need to be, and they basically weren't using them. Just the idea that you put a tube in something and it makes it more good was a greasy little piece of marketing. This is not like that, though. This sounds, feels, and reacts the way it should. It's like adding an extra gain stage and a boost pedal to your existing amplifier on there. I like that it also preserves the character of my guitar on there, and it just makes things easier to play, especially like we heard in that intro jam for doing some fast legato lines. You get that heft and that girth that I associate with the classic tube driver tones, but there's also a lot of clarity and dynamics. It's just a really nicely put together pedal. Having the built-in boost and having the little toggles on the side where you can set the startup state of the pedal is great as well, especially if you were using this in a switching system. This would be a great way to get some Marshall style grunt out of, say, your deluxe reverb. You know, if you've got a Fender amp that you love the tone of, but you want to Marshallize it, this would do it. If you've already got a high gain amp and you want a slightly smoother, thicker tone out of it, I think this would work really well. It would also work great if you had a modeling setup, like say running something like this into a Fractal AM4 or a Line 6 HX Stomp, so you can get that feel and you can let it interact with the guitar a little bit more, would be pretty handy as well. I'll drop a link to this pedal in the video description, and thank you to the team at Citadel Electronics for making this video happen. I'll see you on the next one.